Did y'all see the new trend that is being done by Gen Z? Have you guys heard about this brand new trend?
Oh wait, I think I saw like where they're bored and they spend like 15 minutes like not doing anything.
That is right. That is right. They are putting themselves in timeout, Kirsha. And
we're so cooked.
It's being called raw dogging boredom. And here's an example of it here from the internet.com.
So this is a variation of raw dogging your flight where you like don't listen to music or read a book or anything. You just stare at the seat in front of you the whole time.
Yep.
Isn't this just depression?
That's what we're
Like
calling
how
raw
people did
dogging
things for like ever until 10, 15 years ago.
Wait, what did you say?
Isn't this just like being
I'm just
depressed
saying, like how
though?
people always did things.
Well, I just feel like, I definitely feel like especially the younger generations, and like I'm technically considered Gen Z, like has a problem with the attention span and a constant need for something to,
Dopamine.
like dopamine. Yeah. Like it's like little kids, they're growing up on iPads and they don't know how to be bored. And I mean, this might look silly, but like, I don't know. I wouldn't
being
say
a kid and like my mom, if I got in trouble, she would be like, go in the other room, like the quiet room or whatever. It was like the dining room. And you're going to sit there for 15 minutes and think about what you've done. I'm like, okay, I'll just sit here with my thoughts. I'm comfortable. I like this.
Well, you like to be alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually think this is good though, because so many kids, again, like Estrap was saying, they don't know how to like just chill and not be on their phones or constantly doing something. This kind of helps them go into ease. I think a little bit of like relaxation.
But she is on her phone. She's recording it to put it online, which is why I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but she set it up. Yeah, she's set it up, but she's not like actively
But
using
all
it.
the time, this is a good
What
trend.
I was gonna say, I think is happening is not that they're trying to like find a fix for their ADHD or why their generation is so dopamine dependent because of being raised on social media, but it's more how solidly attention seeking the majority of people are in that generation. And they all want to be the next big pop off online. They want to be the next person who pioneered like a 6'7" or whatever the fuck, right? And so if they can go out and be like, oh, look at me, I'm doing the raw dogging thing, they can get more people in on the trend. They can be like, I started that and now I'm gonna pop off. This is my moment, right? So it's not an attempt to fix anything. It's again feeding into that dopamine hit that a lot of these people struggle with.
I guess that's like an interpretation of it.
I think that I think that's very fair, and I'm actually looking up this girl who did this. I actually want to see if there's any sort of clout or anything that she received from this, because she is a fairly small creator. But
because like not everything is gonna work, right? But you gotta try everything, throw everything at the wall until something sticks. Anything for the content is what a lot of people say.
Right. And you can see the biggest ones is her raw dogging. She's done several TikToks of her just sitting there doing this. I agree with you, Rev. I think this is called living pre-social media age. And I think one of the best things that you could possibly do sometimes is just to totally separate and from your phone technology. How many times in your life have you felt just completely overwhelmed? And then you went outside or you spent a weekend away from your phone and you have that anxiety when you first let it go. And then you step away for a day and you feel totally fucking refreshed.
Yes.
Like,
No, that's good.
I
That's
agree.
a good thing to do, but
And
that's
I
not what
feel
she's
like,
doing.
well, I feel like out of all the trends that you could try to start, this is a good trend to do. So like,
Even if it's
I don't
done
know.
with vanity
I'm
reasons
not
at
gonna
first.
knock it because honestly, I saw that earlier and it made me think, wow, I should step away from my phone for a little while. I should be by myself. Like, that's actually a good idea. I should do that right now. So, like, even whether or not I'm not in her head, I don't know what her intentions are. But, I mean, either way, I think it can produce positive results. I mean, there are definitely worse things she could be raw dogging.
I mean, for
Oh
sure,
my-
I agree with that, but I also don't think that this is encouraging people, like both of you said, to get out and touch some grass and go do stuff and interact with the people around you. That's not what the raw dogging is. This is just sitting there looking at the wall, which that doesn't really help any. Like, yeah, if you're gonna meditate, that even is more than just sitting there looking at the wall. But they're not trying to meditate. They're not trying to like do yoga. They're not trying to go outside. They're not trying to do things off their phone. They're like, oh yeah, raw dog. Let's just sit here and stare.
Well, I
And
think
it's like
they're
that's why I
trying
compared it to
like-
depression earlier.
No, I get that, but I feel like it's more to do with the fact that like people, like what I was saying earlier, that like everyone needs like constant dopamine, and so like to be able to just sit somewhere in silence with your own thoughts, like whether you want to call it meditation, whether you want to do like whatever you want to call it, to be able to sit there. I mean, I think it's like an important thing that people just cannot do anymore, and
Baby
I
steps.
agree with Mr. Relax time.
Yeah. The comments on this are wild over here.
Actually, real fast though, Mercenary for Two says the Wii Fit had a 15-minute meditate mini game, and I remember playing that one. That one was really hard because you had to sit like nice and straight on the Wii Fit board, and if you like kind of wiggled around, you were out.
You had to add that perfect posture.
Yeah, I like that one. The Wii Fit board. It's great shit.
You guys want a video game podcast? You got it. Way to bring it back. Let's go.
And then it'd be like, you're out. That's the game. And then it would just kick you out because you failed.
The response to this is really good. Mentioned the relaxing time one. He says, yeah, but they're recording themselves, so it's not the true experience. They will upload it and get the dopamine hit from sharing it. Yes, I think there's definitely something to that. One of the defining features of Gen Z is taking something everybody knows about and pretending they invented it by giving it a different name.
That's funny.
Raw dogging. You mean just being by yourself? That's good.
But it is funny though to think about the fact that so many young, and I don't know how old this person is. I'm assuming they look maybe like a teenager, maybe like 18, 19, but they look pretty young.
Mm-hmm.
But like it is such a thing. Like I have so many friends that have young kids that their kids are iPad kids, and they don't know what it means to be bored. Like I remember being a kid and going on a trip, in the car, and like we didn't even have a TV in the car back then. That was for rich people. Like we didn't have that. We just got to stare out the car and ask like, are we almost there? Are we almost there? And like, you just figure it out. You be creative, be a kid, be bored. Like kids don't know how to be bored anymore. It's a real thing.
It's a really huge skill to.
And when you don't experience being bored, you don't come up with ways to make yourself unbored, which I think severely nerfs your imagination and just like your regular thinking capabilities.
Yeah,
I think that I agree with everything that you're saying, and I have 100% seen this as my kids have gotten older. We talked about this on the show. We've all seen it a million times. The parents who just pop the iPad in front of their kids, the phone, even like at the grocery store, right? Like what you're using it as a pacifier. Like going to the grocery store can be boring for kids, but you have to absorb these things that are around you. It's called absorbing life. You have to be able to look around and see find out the things that could be fun. Oh, there's a coffee machine over there, or the new cereal is out, or whatever. The idea of just being around the world and being conscious of what's happening instead of what's going on your tiny little screen over here. And I agree with you, Straub. Actually, I agree with everybody here. I think there's layers in this Venn diagram here. That if it does inspire somebody to separate without their phone and say, hey, maybe I should just separate and not record it and post it on social media, that is a good thing. And I also agree with you, Kirsha, in that posting it online for clout and getting that dopamine hit and seeing that you have 1.5 million views, that totally negates the purpose of separating for 15 minutes.
She's going to be checking her notifications for the next week.
Right.
Yeah.
Put an asterisk there. Actually, probably will lose all your